about the adventures of our international representative
in Taiwan.
To fix the cam. The representative is not represented.
In my mind, the next word for international was spy.
Man of mystery.
The man of mystery.
Okay.
Mr. Helio,
Hey,
how is the Taiwan?
Taiwan has been a very, let's say, an eye-opening experience. I initially headed for Taiwan since basically I went in there for free, save for the travel costs. And when you go there, you just see like how good the people are and what they do. I think Eman would also have a similar feeling with, since we both at least are exposed to the world of the academe and what they do.
Yeah, you guys are in research and writing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really humbling, for example, that you see all these people come from all different parts of the world and they all do their thing. And it's honestly, I guess it's a unique experience. The culture, of course, is something entirely different. I mean, even out some
you do have Wi-Fi in the whole country.
You
can play Fire Emblem whenever
There's
you
that.
want.
I was hiking in the mountains and I was playing Fire Emblem.
Oh,
I was
damn.
resting.
So
Actually, one of our friends went to Taiwan and he was very surprised that he was in the thick of the mountains, but you have Wi-Fi there.
Sino?
Si Ari yun.
Nagtayo si Ari.
Not just, I think it's LTE.
wow.
Which is almost universal.
And the net in the mountains is faster than our shitty net here.
shitty home net here.
Question: is that net for free? It's like
Yes.
global.
Yes.
It's a country free net. Like that's where the taxpayers' dollars
Yes.
go.
Yes, effectively, if I might add.
You know, if we have that, we can play Rust wherever we want.
So aside from
I would
the
not play
super
Rust
good
forever.
net, what are the pros?
Because that's just sad.
I think
Yes, that's
what
it.
Taiwan had going for them was also their geography. The island is, I think, roughly a little bit bigger than Metro Manila, the entirety of Metro Manila. I
okay.
think so the transportation, since it's entirely land-based and the island is basically bisected by a mountain range, which I believe is a continuation of the Cordillera that we have here. So most of the cities are actually on the left side of the island facing China, since there's a trade between China and everything else. So the entire right side is almost either untouched territory or territory covered by what they call the Aboriginal people of Taiwan. Basically, if you compare, the natives. You compare the picture of the natives and the Ifugao in the north, you cannot distinct them.
Oh, really?
They look entirely the same.
Oh, wow.
So,
Costumes and all
They
that.
just speak Taiwanese or Chinese or something like
Even their native language
Different.
sounds eerily similar to what we have here in the
that.
Philippines.
Oh, wow.
So it's really something. It's like when you go to, for example, I went to Kanting, the beach area at the southernmost tip of Taiwan. I actually visited the southernmost tip of the island facing Batanes. And you can see some of the monuments from the native culture that used to be there. And you see the exact same things you see in Baguio, the feather caps and
So
wow.
basically, you can trace back.
yes.
So basically,
Oh.
we're part Taiwanese though.
It's basic. No, it's not.
The joke lang.
It's the Malay race.
Yeah.
They spread throughout different islands. You can see
I think there should have been a land bridging Batanes.
I think so.
And
The-
Taiwan,
the
basically,
olden
history,
times.
yeah.
or maybe when it just break away.
And what I appreciate the most from what they do with that kind of situation is
Or they were smart and built boats.
compared to like approaching China, like
Yeah.
a big superpower country and all that. Taiwan has this new, like they call a southbound policy, where they focus on expounding their exports, technology transfer, education, and other resources to southern countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia. So they have an extended communication now with countries like us who share their culture, which is also driven by the fact that their situation with China.
Is there a language barrier or fairly a lot of the population?
Siguro naman eh, Duterte. The joke.
But yeah,
Is there a language barrier, or do most of the people there speak or understand English?
there's definitely a language barrier that they need to overcome. for Taiwanese people, often the young, I guess millennial generation of people would understand you if you speak English, but most of the locals, you're gonna have a harder time.
Of course.
And
And how do you cope with that?
I had to learn Chinese.
Okay.
So I learned Chinese for like 2 semesters, which is obviously not enough to learn everything, but it's enough to
It's
pass
enough
you
to.
by.
You can talk, right?
I can buy food.
You can buy food.
Buy the essentials that I need for everyday
Yeah,
living.
what about how do you buy amiibos? That's
Oh!
the question.
Oh yeah.
Taiwan is very friendly to. They're very accommodating to like mom and pop shops. You know, the ones that are nearby stores.
I actually also saw you finding lots of Gundams there.
Yes, because I think compared to our country, they're much more open to culture, especially since they're near Japan. In fact, Taiwanese people, if the first thing they if you ask someone where do you go outside the country if you want to go on vacation, most often they mention Okinawa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it's just the
It's
southern
just
one.
a flight away.
It's just
So-
a boat away.
So what they do is since I think it was also previously occupied by Japan for a time, so the road maps, the layout of the cities, the architecture, especially the renovated architecture before they modernized it for the modern day Taiwan, they mostly resemble Japan in a sense, and they actually sort of look towards Japan in a way to
Even the urban planning, even
Yes,
the way
yes.
the roads are designed, things beside rivers, something like
definitely for like inspiration, I guess, or something to look up to in terms of progress, seeing as how Japan developed through the years. And you can see it definitely in how they treat their shops and how they have their public safety down pat. I have this one instance where I left my phone in the basket of my bike for an entire night. It was still there the next day when I found it.
Oh wow!
In here, forget it for 20
So
minutes.
the bike
You
would
leave
be
your
gone.
slippers
Yeah,
outside the
together
home.
with the bike.
The bike would be gone.
Forget your phone, it's the bike that's gonna go with it. So yeah, it's definitely something different entirely. And I'd say there are differences between how we would probably approach a similar situation, but Taiwan definitely does things right, and it's something that we can probably make use of somehow.
Have people mistaken you for a local there?
Definitely.
More
Almost
time.
every single time when someone asks me for directions, they assume that I am
One of
Chinese
them.
or Taiwanese.
One of us.
And when I tell them I'm not, they end up surprised.
I actually had a similar problem.
Really?
In Taiwan?
No, not in Taiwan. Going to Korea and in Hong Kong.
Yeah, actually
Oh.
me too in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, I went to a convenience store. I was paying, and the guy behind me like tapped me. He was saying something to me, and I didn't understand. I was like, "I'm sorry," and just went out.
Sumimasen.
and on a flight to Korea, you know how they gave you like
What?
slips you need to fill out in the plane
Yes.
before you board. There's an English one and there's a Korean one. Guess what they gave me?
They gave you nothing. You're not a human.
They thought it was
Looks
great.
like Rowy, we're the only ones that are going to be not like that. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a really nice
How about the
experience.
culture?
The culture, let's see, if you're going to go for like how they approach modernization and all that, Taiwan has this specific outlook of where they approach modern things with as much vigor, I say, as like people like us. But they also have a tendency to very much cherish their native culture. Their not really
Native Chinese or
native Chinese.
Yeah, not
culture,
native
yeah,
Aboriginal.
Definitely native Chinese culture. Most of the the Aboriginal native culture they keep in for the museums. They keep for their appreciation. You know the things we do for
Preservation, yeah,
all that. They
preservation.
do the same things.
Basically, they acknowledge it exists, but they're okay with it being gone.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny because they know that the Aborigines lived there before them, and they know that they consider them like the real like the natives of the island.
They're in Taiwan.
Yet they also recognize that they are not from their lineage, so they recognize their Chinese roots at the same time they honor what the natives have in the island as well. So
You know,
it's-
Like Americans!
you know that's kind of hard to do. To acknowledge that, oh, we're not from here.
yeah, they're in a weird place. They know they're from China, but
Yeah,
they
because
know
if you
their
go back a
relationships.
generation or two, most of your ancestors, if you're Taiwanese, are from China, right?
Yes, definitely. So yeah, it's really something. If you look around, I guess it's really pretty much the same here. Everyone's on their phones, doing their own thing, but with the added comfort of public safety and all that, it's much more common to see people on their phones on the streets and while walking on their bikes and all that. So it's really a different setting. If you do some kind of public disservice, for example, if you fight in public or do a petty crime or something, you are immediately subject to public ridicule.
Wow.
Because there's like an expected common sense of respect among bystanders, even strangers, which I guess is something innate in their culture as Taiwanese people. They want to differentiate themselves from, at least most of them want to differentiate themselves so much from the Chinese identity.
So basically, if you do a crime, everyone can say, "Ha, you suck."
Yeah, the people there respond so quickly to emergencies. It's really astonishing.
Everyone just carries the shame bell from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no.
Shame.
If you pee on a wall,
Shame.
everyone's gonna go around you.
Shame.
So yeah, it's a really nice thing.
How's the Filipino presence over
The
there?
Filipino presence in Taiwan it's there, but you're gonna have to look hard to find a core group.
Okay. So it's not like other countries.
Yeah, it's not like the US, LA, San Francisco.
It's
It's
not
not like
it's
Hong
not like
Kong.
places in the Middle East
Yeah.
where you can actually find them immediately.
There's like Filipino communities in that area, right? More in Taiwan, it's mostly it's like
small
distributed.
segments.
Yeah, because the people there moved to the cities not because there are Filipinos located there, but because there's job opportunities in that location.
Yeah, we actually have someone else who's like
It's
in
like
Japan.
Makati or
Yeah.
Quezon.
Civil.
Yeah, I guess.
In
To
terms,
crush.
in terms of jobs,
Crush mo.
look at that.
Keep check.
Sigurado ka tayo.
Cute Chicago.
Okay.
We'll talk more about that later.
Cute Chicago.
Okay, got that.
Got that.
Rowy doesn't cut anything, right?
I'm not gonna post this in the guild. Kasi pinaplug ko yung ibang videos. I'm not posting this in the fucking
Fine,
guild
let's get
page.
into
Why don't you
Wait,
just King Crimson it?
Wait, yeah, let's get
I'm too lazy to edit shit.
let's get a good part. How's the food?
Okay, let's
How's
go with
the
food.
food?
Yes,
How's
the
the
food.
food?
the important.
The important
Let's
part.
start with breakfast, then we go to lunch, then we finish with
No,
dessert.
let's go with the hardcore stuff. How's the street food?
Yes.
Taiwanese street food is in general good.
Mhm.
There's no question about that. They have the chickens and what do you call this?
The balls.
They have
This
this
chicken is the freaking street food.
Yeah, I mean, fried chicken is their street food, and they have this certain sandwich that they basically call they term it the Taiwanese burger.
Yeah.
It's basically the mantao, the shopao bread.
Yeah, the white
They-
bread.
They put special slices of meat, usually beef
Sausage?
or pork.
Or no?
Holy shit.
Sometimes it's sausage.
That sounds
sometimes,
actually good.
sometimes it's not. They put vegetables and special sauce. It's really good, and I like that. Their course meals,
It's like a kwapao.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yung bread, yung
Similar.
kwapao, hiwa, tas just
Yeah,
meat
that's
in the
what it
sauce.
Yeah.
So their main course meals, they love using heavy sauces. You know, the ones that you usually find in
Heavy
really
sauces.
Thick, heavy,
Yeah.
sweet, soy saucy
Yes.
sauces.
Sauces you slurp, not sip.
yes.
Okay, so it's heavy.
Ah.
It's thick.
If it's something you sip, it's most
Extra
definitely a
thick.
hot pot.
Okay, yeah.
Hot pot
It's
or a
hot
noodle.
pot.
It's thick.
Thick.
So
CHICC.
you'd often find places that serve hot pot, of course, and there's places that specifically cater to those who want to eat fried rice. As you know, the Chinese
Of course.
culture, they
Of course.
treasure their fried rice. It's everywhere.
Asian countries.
And if
treasure
you've tasted
rice.
one, you've tasted
What about
It's really the same.
I see.
what about the noodles?
Yeah.
But the noodles are very good. I can attest to
Okay,
that.
so the
Yeah, coming from
No,
Chinese
what
culture.
type of noodles are
So it's really the
fried,
same. Look at
wet
that.
noodles, fried or
It's mostly soup based.
Soup-based.
Noodle soups. So
Clear soup, not ramen like
sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's not. It depends on what kind of soup you're trying to
Depends
go
on
for.
how much the workers sweat on it.
But what's weird is that they have these sizzling, the sizzling plates that we have here in the
I have soup.
The sizzling plates, they have a choice of either rice or noodles.
Oh.
So you can
Fried noodles.
noodles in sizzling plate.
Yes, they
Yes,
serve
that's-
I like that.
noodles in a
Well,
sizzling
no,
plate.
it's not-
What's
Alam
weird?
ko, alam ko, but okay, sige.
What's weird is that no, but what's
But-
weird is that the usual traditional sizzling plate we have here with the rice and the steak,
Yeah.
the mixed veggies, literally just replace the rice with noodles and they still have the same thing.
Okay.
Same steak, the same mixed veggies.
Mm.
It's an odd mix, but people like it, so I guess it
How's the
works.
seafood there?
Seafood is in general pretty good. They have the exact. You expect the same thing, like the fried shrimps and all
I would
that.
assume it being an island that it's very fresh.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. Now last.
Okay.
How's the fast food there?
Here's where-
Here is the thing. In the Philippines, we have Jollibee. Do they have Jollibee
There.
in Taiwan?
They used to.
Oh.
They rejected Jollibee.
Oh,
Why though? Why?
The Taiwanese people do not like too strong flavors.
They don't like
okay,
they
so
don't like bees.
They don't like good stuff.
They don't like gravy.
If you, for example, if you try, they
So,
have
sorry, how is Jollibee a strong flavor? Or do you think how
Matamis.
definitely more of the pasta, spaghetti is definitely much too sweet for their taste.
Matamis yun.
I think so. If, for example, they have the shawmai here, right? The usual meat, the meat
dumplings?
the meat dumplings and all that. They call it shumai over there, and
Yeah.
And
the
they don't-
shumai they serve.
I bet they don't drown it in soy sauce like
Yes.
we
They
do.
do not. They don't drum it in anything.
They eat it.
They eat it as
just
is.
No.
And
Oh, okay.
it's funny that the ones that we have here have more taste because they put extenders of vegetables. Sometimes so much that it's mostly vegetable.
And it's a bit bland. It's just
Yes.
okay.
Well, actually, I've had shomai where it's just full on vegetables. It tastes okay,
But
but
then you did.
I need that soy sauce.
Yeah,
you need that
soy
Or
sauce.
if
Ah,
not,
okay, okay.
if not soy sauce, at least chili and calamansi.
Yeah. But at least you're going to add some.
A little bit more flavor than just what it
Did you
is.
find
Just the
calamansi
steamed
there?
thing.
No.
Calamansi.
meat, just the
No.
steamed meat.
They don't put calamansi in their food. Most often, the spice that you find is in the five spice powder that they use.
Oh,
You
Okay.
find it from fried food to stews and
One curious thing that you talk about in Discord is the KFC.
Yeah.
Compare our KFC with
Can
their.
you share
Okay.
more about that? Yeah.
I mentioned, I think, a while ago in the previous recording that the fast food they usually adapt food to the culture that they sit themselves in.
Yeah.
In Taiwan, they like their five spice flavor so much that their chicken is based around that. They do not serve the original recipe chicken
Wait,
at,
really?
Wow.
at all.
Nani?
At all.
That,
So it's just 5 spice
So
chicken.
it's- all the
Ano?
chicken they serve.
This is
What was that? The hot and the
Hot and
crunchy
crispy.
version.
Hot
Hot
and
and
crispy.
crispy.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's actually
It's
that's actually
basically
surprising.
Either crispy or hot and crispy.
Then it's no longer finger
That's
looking
not
good.
really KFC anymore.
Then it's no
And
longer
they're so
finger
creamy.
looking
So
good.
If they're so creamy, is there mashed potato?
not that I know
Oh, damn.
of. The same
The
fries
fries,
that I
isn't
find the
You-
fries
you
is
have-
the exact
so
same.
it's-
You have mashed noodles.
Chicken and noodles. Mashed noodles.
Yeah, I'm surprised with what you talked about in the news part of the Taiwan talk. Is you talked a lot about fries. They have served
Fries
is fries
everywhere?
like a staple there or something.
Yes, they serve all sorts of root crops as fries.
Do they call it chips?
No.
I'm not sure.
The Chinese word for chips had no.
It's very
Oh,
far.
then
If you find
No, it's because it's the British.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you find roadside
Diners
shops
or-
for fries, it's usually sweet potatoes,
Kamote.
and
Yeah.
But it's good.
It's good. It's good. Taro. Surprisingly,
So
sweet
there's
potato
three.
fries are effective. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
With the same flavors, the cheese and the.
But is it
sweet
dry? Because usually sweet potato fries are dry.
Yes, they're dry.
Okay.
Yeah, they're heavy.
And
Of course, they're
They're
good.
heavy.
one of the biggest complaints about Taiwanese food is that they love using too much oil. They love
So
stir fry.
they like to fry everything.
Yes, so
You're gonna have to bring napkins and soap.
either you eat all steamed food or soup-based food, or it's
Or
all
all
gonna
fried.
be an overload of
Yeah.
cooking oil. It's really.
Speaking of fries, just a while ago in lunch, the family went out. They had fried fruit salad.
What? Fries?
It's like the usual fruit salad stuff, like the nata,
fried.
the
The cream?
Yes, and the cream. What are the usual fruits that they put?
Peaches, buko.
Yeah.
So,
In-
so
in-
wait, let me just understand it. They didn't fry it with the cream, right? They fried it first, then put the cream on it.
No. They made fruit salad.
Okay.
They got the spoon. They put like
Cream on it. Did they put it?
batter?
yes, with it's a
So-
fruit salad.
so
You make the
they-
fruit salad first. You make the fruit salad first. You get a spoon of that. You coat that with
A batter of some
a
sort.
batter, and then you fry it. So when you bite it, it's creamy
Oh
inside
my
with,
But it's a big pot.
with the
It's
coconut,
very-
with the nata,
it's
with
very-
the fruits.
Well,
kinda
I
weird.
wouldn't. It's weird. It sounds weird, but I've heard weirder things. You know what's the weirdest thing I've heard? Oyster ice cream.
Yeah.
No, you want to know how oyster ice cream works? It's basically ice cream, savory ice cream, and it's usually served with oyster ice cream. That's the savory ice cream with
With the
actual
real oyster.
oysters.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
It is weird, but people have tasted it. They said it's good. And I was like, how is
Tastes
that
of the
good?
sea and cow titties. So
So I would expect it.
I
Maybe,
would have understood chili ice cream, from Bicol, chili ice cream because
Yeah.
it's
In
cream
fried
ice cream.
shit,
Fine.
ano talaga eh, ice cream lang yung limitations ko. Other than that, no. Don't do that.
So yeah, Taiwanese food.
so definitely no to
Yeah.
strawberry
Also-
fries and chocolate syrup.
Also, after on ice cream, go get the freaking Buka Pandan shake.
You've
for
been
KFC.
plugging that
You've been
for
plugging
2
that for
weeks.
2. Just a week, man. Just a week. Just a week.
It felt like
It felt like 2 weeks.
Give me this week. It's
No.
not good.
No, because we didn't have a
How-
podcast last week, and he's returning it right now.
How
It's
much
2
is
weeks.
it? Under 100 for like.
45.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wait,
I
for
will,
what? Buko Pandan.
Yeah.
Where?
45.
For
That's
KFC.
affordable.
They call it milkshake, but it's actually ice cream.
Okay, so going back, how about the desserts?
Desserts.
Did you get strawberry fries with chocolate syrup?
Oh hell no.
When you get home, one strawberry.
Jollibee is
Also,
a
wait.
god in our eyes,
Also,
but
wait.
that's a mistake.
Also, before you said that, Arnold gave us alarming news from a reliable source.
What?
What is this?
There's supposed to be a strawberry burger.
Oh god.
No, wait.
Who is the reliable source?
Going to specialty flavors. McDonald's, they have a McSpicy.
Mm.
Yeah.
They have a garlic parmesan
Yeah.
McSpicy.
Yes.
It's really good.
Yeah.
We've been having that for 3 months now.
I just had it yesterday.
Okay,
And
so
it's
you're
good.
late to the party, but welcome. Come on in.
Okay, now
Come on, let's talk about
try
dessert.
double McChicken with barbecue.
Let's stop plugging fast food. Let's finish
Yeah,
the
let's-
Taiwan.
That's food, man.
Let's finish the Taiwan. Taiwan dessert.
You guys want to order something?
We still have that one big plate of
Baked macaroni.
Let's just buy ice cream
Yeah.
for the brownies, man. But
We have
I
ice cream
have
inside
yet to
one.
return to KFC, so that's something to look
Alright,
forward to.
let's finish this.
With
Close,
dessert.
close up your
Yeah.
dessert.
I'll combine maybe desserts and drinks. The Taiwanese people love their tea.
Of course.
More often than not, you'd see young people order their tea separately from their food. The tea places we have here, Infinity. And
Okay,
all that.
so it's milk tea. It's cold tea. It's not hot.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Milk tea,
I like
fruit
my
tea,
tea
everything else that you can put in tea, they serve it there. And for desserts, the one that I most vividly
T1.
remember is what they call shaved ice. It's basically, it's kind of like halo-halo,
Yeah.
Mm.
but instead of placing the usual,
Is it
Is it
vastly
closer to
superior?
halo halo or sorbet?
it's closer maybe to I'd say halo-halo.
Okay, so it's
Just-
just syrup based. It's
Is
not
it vastly superior though?
to what?
Than the halo.
I'd like
Oh,
halo-halo.
is it like one of those shaved ice we had in high school where there'd be like tiger's blood flavors? Remember those days?
Tiger's blood. It's just strawberry.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Tiger's blood.
Why do you
Shit,
need to be so
man.
extreme?
Snowy.
We were so edged then that we ordered that shit.
I want some tiger blood, please.
The shaved
Yeah.
ice,
So it's like that.
yeah, it's mostly like halo-halo minus the milk.
Also, it's
So
syrup
it's-
based or no? It's fruit based.
Mostly fruit and syrup based. They have the beans and the fruit sometimes.
Oh.
And
I
the
imagine-
jellies, but it's mostly.
I'd imagine a la Ice
syrup.
Monster.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, kind of like that. So yeah, mostly that's.
No specialty pastry or cake of some kind.
If there are specialty pastries, it's mostly in like in the communities or the towns where most I'd say commercial centers are not located. So for example, in my location in Tainan, their specialty is one the shaved ice and second the milk tea. So they have lots of milk tea places in my area. But for the specialty dishes, for example, the pineapple cakes, this is made in some other. Most of the pineapple cakes are specialized in some other part of the island, but it's commercialized, so it's mostly everywhere now.
Let's show that to the fans. The people.
Oh,
So yeah.
wait, shit. Speaking of specialized shit, I have something I will share with you guys. Wait a minute, but continue your talk.
Yeah, let's finish
Okay.
Taiwan
Yeah.
talk.
But yeah, I'd say Taiwanese food in general is they don't like too much flavor, but what they lack in flavor they make up for with the spices they put afterwards once they cook the food.
And they
So
fry
most
it.
often table sets are not decorated with salt and vinegar or
It's their five
soy sauce and
It's
vinegar.
just five
It's the
spice.
5 spice powder, some peppers, and that's it. Or salt sometimes.
Okay.
Rarely. But yeah,
You
that's
know,
mostly,
one time we're going to go back, and we're going to meet again for a cast. I would like to try that 5 spices.
I'll try to
Maybe,
find-
maybe
I'll try
bring
to
a
find.
packet home or something.
Yeah.
Or we can, I don't know, we can just...
Welcome back.
Hey.
Oh!
Dried mango.
Yeah, but don't throw it on the mic, man. Don't throw
That's
it on
all
the
right.
mic.
Fun fact: if you go to 7-Eleven in Taiwan, you will find fried
Hey,
Hey.
fucked up. You fucked up.
You got fucked up the...
And with that, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Right, closing it off, what's the visa situation with yours right now?
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard that it opened, but
I
it's
think
not much
you-
limited.
Yeah, you've heard the news that Taiwan opened their visa restrictions
Yeah.
for Filipinos for entry. I think it's in the testing phase right now.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
So
So limited only.
yeah, they're trying to gauge if they can attract more visitors that way. It's aligned again with the new southbound policy I mentioned earlier. So yeah, if you could go to Taiwan, I'd say go
Maybe
to the
we should
place.
try and host one
Yeah.
there for Hill.
Aside from the usual.
Oh, I highly doubt that they're going to go there for Hill.
Oh, fuck
Hey,
you, man. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Oh,